How could you? How could you? You're my brother. How could you? How could you? And I'm your sister. How could you treat me like that? That shit was so whack. How could you think shit is sweet and try to come back? How could you do some lame shit, then point fingers at me when you have 3 more pointing back at you? In between, this shit don't faze me, it only gets crazy when a motherfucker come just sideways and don't take accountability and can't even fucking face me. We supposed to love each other and help each other grow. Not talking about I thought we were friends when you're barely being a bro. Who are you doing this for? God or yourself? Either way, you won't get far without God help. Take baby steps, because God is the only one who denies and accepts. How could you? How could you? You're my brother. How could you? How could you? And I'm your sister. How could you treat me like that? That shit was so whack. How could you think shit is sweet, then try to come back?
How could you? Man, how could you? You my sister, girl. How could you? I ain't forget about you. And you my brother, boy. How could y'all when you're hurting your call and then you treat me like I'm small? What's the protocol when your back against the wall and the truth really not what you thought?
Brotherly and sisterly love is what we need more of, and even though you're fighting demons, I'ma still offer you a hug, cause it's messed up, you can't see what you do. But that's that narcissist shit, and you only got one point of view, and that's something you should undo. Renew your mind and stop playing victim. You know you've been tripping, causing all this affliction with your thoughts, and I got thoughts, and that's addiction. And this prediction has been manifested, but the devil been testing, and you didn't feel right in this trap once again. Suppressing, guessing, and neglecting what you're supposed to been injecting. But you're a fool being used as a tool, but you can't take correction, and that's embarrassing. And I don't think you learned your lesson. Instead of pretending on who you're not, living your truth. Instead of running from your pain, just deal with you and heal you. How could you? How could you? You're my brother. How could you? How could you? And I'm your sister. How could you treat me like that? That shit was so whack. How could you think shit is sweet and try to come back?
How could you? Man, how could you? You my sister, girl. How could you? I ain't forget about you. And you my brother, boy. How could y'all when you're hurting your call and then you treat me like I'm small? What's the protocol when your back against the wall and the truth really not what you thought? So why what they taught? Interpretations got us going crazy. You can say that we lost and refund what you bought. To say the babies from this wicked nation, that's no matter the cost. Time is ticking, you see the way we live and we just make decisions. We don't care what it be. I just wanna be free, like a musician when he stop and listen to the sounds of the keys. Motion pictures I ain't watching with you, cause he walking with us. This is something that I know. Popping pimples just to hear your tempo, trying to free your mental. They don't wanna let go. Slowly shrinking cause of what you drinking. I'm like, what you thinking? Future cup to the brim. Now you're blanking, getting old and stinking, then your body sinking. You don't know how to swim. They ain't using their limbs. They too lazy to stand right to work for the powers to be. Heart is thumping, then my blood is pumping, trying to tell you something to the sound of the beat. Key to growing and not decomposing, gotta find YahJew. He the king of the truth. He the smoking from the fire smoking. Turn me up, now I stand on the king of the youth. How could you? How could you? You're my brother. How could you? How could you? And I'm your sister. How could you treat me like that? That shit was so whack. How could you think shit is sweet and try to come back?
Now y'all say this very respectfully. If you're not going to do nothing, please be quiet. Because you're making Babylon more humongous. You know, it's a lot of people talking and they not finna do nothing. Run from the Babylon.